What if the greatest risk you ever take is the one that involves following your heart to marry your love but not the one your parents want? For Akua, a young Ghanaian woman, disobeying her parents' wishes was the scariest and riskiest decision she made. Akua had always been the obedient daughter, doing everything her parents asked of her. But when it came to choosing a husband, Akua's parents had other plans. They wanted her to marry a wealthy businessman, but Akua's heart belonged to Kofi, a kind and handsome young man from a humble background. Despite her parents' disapproval, Akua decided to follow her heart and marry Kofi. It wasn't an easy decision, and Akua faced many challenges along the way. Join Akua on her journey as she discovers the true meaning of love, family, and following your heart. Get ready to be transported to the vibrant culture and stunning natural beauty of Ghana, where tradition meets excitement and new possibilities. Akua's story is a testament to the power of love and the risks involving following your heart. Will love win? Let's delve into Akua's love story. Akua is a beautiful Akuapem woman who grew up in Aburi, a town in Ghana. She had a memorable childhood where she was staying in a serene environment with birds singing melodiously in the mornings with very cool temperature in the surroundings. Ripened mangoes were her best fruits and she enjoyed playing in the woods to enjoy them. As days passed by, she grew more and more beautiful. Akua's parents arrange her marriage to a wealthy businessman, but she falls deeply in love with Kofi, a kind and handsome young man from a humble background. Akua's parents are furious when they discover her relationship with Kofi, and they forbid her from seeing him again. But Akua is determined to follow her heart, even if it means disobeying her parents and risking her family's reputation. Akua's parents have always wanted the best for her, and they believe that marrying a wealthy businessman will secure her future. But Akua has other plans. When she meets Kofi, she's immediately drawn to his kind heart and charming smile. As they spend more time together, Akua realizes that she's fallen deeply in love with Kofi. But Akua's parents are not pleased when they discover her relationship with Kofi. They believe that he's not good enough for the daughter, and they forbid Akua from seeing him again. But Akua continues to see Kofi, and they met at secret places. Akua is torn between her love for Kofi and her loyalty to her parents. She knows that disobeying her parents will come with consequences, but she's determined to follow her heart. As the conflict escalates, Akua must decide what's truly important to her. Will she choose to obey her parents and marry the wealthy businessman, or will she follow her heart and risk everything for love? As Akua and Kofi's relationship deepens, Akua begins to notice strange occurrences. Kofi seems to be hiding something from her, and she starts to feel like she doesn't really know him. One day, Akua discovers a shocking truth: Kofi is actually the son of a wealthy and influential family in Ghana. He's been keeping it a secret to prove his worth to Akua, to show her that he's more than just his family's wealth and status. Akua is torn between feeling betrayed and feeling proud of Kofi for working hard to make a name for himself. She confronts Kofi about his secret, and he explains that he wanted to prove himself to her, to show her that he's worthy of her love. Akua forgives Kofi, but she's also determined to get to know his family and understand why he kept his true identity a secret. As Akua navigates her relationship with Kofi, she also begins to uncover secrets about her own family. She discovers a series of old letters and photographs that reveal a shocking truth: her parents' marriage was not arranged, but rather a love match that was forbidden by their families. Akua is stunned by this revelation, and she begins to question everything she thought she knew about her family. She confronts her parents about their past, and they explain that they were young and in love, but their families did not approve of their relationship. They had to fight to be together, and they eventually won. Akua is inspired by her parents' love story, and she realizes that she's following in their footsteps. She's fighting for her own love, just like her parents did. As Akua's parents continue to pressure her to marry the wealthy businessman, Akua begins to suspect that something is off. She discovers a shocking truth: the businessman is not who he seems to be. He's actually a ruthless and cunning individual who will stop at nothing to get what he wants. Akua realizes that her parents have been deceived by the businessman's charm and wealth. She tries to warn him, but the two invested in the idea of her marrying him. Akua knows that she has to take matters into her own hands, and she begins to gather evidence to expose the businessman's true intentions. As Akua and Kofi's relationship deepens, they decide to start a family. But their joy is short-lived, as Akua discovers that she's experiencing complications with her pregnancy. She's diagnosed with a high-risk condition, and she's forced to undergo a series of tests and treatments. Akua is scared and overwhelmed, but Kofi is by her side every step of the way. He's supportive and loving, and he helps Akua to stay positive and focused. Together, they navigate the challenges of pregnancy, and they eventually welcome a healthy and happy baby into their family. As Akua and Kofi's relationship deepens, Akua begins to notice that Kofi seems to be holding back. She senses that he's been hurt in the past, and she encourages him to open up to her. Kofi eventually reveals that he was heartbroken in the past, that he loved someone who didn't love him back. Akua is touched by Kofi's vulnerability, and she's grateful that he's willing to open up to her. She realizes that Kofi's past heartbreak has made him the person he is today, and she's grateful for the love and support he brings to their relationship. As Akua and Kofi's relationship deepens, Akua's parents begin to see Kofi in a new light. They realize that he's a kind and loving person, and they're impressed by the way he cares for Akua. They eventually have a change of heart, and they come to accept Kofi as their son-in-law. After all, Kofi has a child with the daughter Akua, and they do not want Akua to have children with different men, as it is against Ghanaian customs and traditions. Akua is overjoyed by her parents' change of heart, and she's grateful that they're finally accepting of Kofi. She realizes that their love and support mean the world to her, and she's grateful to have them in her life. The story continues. As Akua's parents finally accept Kofi as their son-in-law, the family comes together to celebrate their union. The atmosphere is filled with joy and laughter as they prepare for the big celebration. However, just as things are starting to look up, the wealthy businessman who Akua's parents originally wanted her to marry shows up at the celebration, causing tension and conflict. He's accompanied by his entourage, and they're all dressed in expensive clothing and jewelry. The businessman, who has been secretly working with Akua's parents to try and break up Akua and Kofi, reveals that he has been manipulating Akua's parents all along, using the desire for wealth and status to control them. Akua's parents are shocked and ashamed, realizing too late that they have been blinded by their own ambitions. They try to apologize to Akua and Kofi, but the businessman interrupts them, revealing more shocking secrets. He reveals that Akua's parents have been in deep financial trouble, and that he's been paying off the debts in exchange for their loyalty. He also reveals that he's been using his wealth and influence to sabotage Kofi's business, trying to ruin his reputation and destroy his livelihood. Akua and Kofi are devastated by the revelations, but they're also determined to fight back. They confront the businessman and his entourage, refusing to back down in the face of adversity. The confrontation escalates, with both sides exchanging heated words and accusations. But just when it seems like things are going to get out of hand, Akua's parents intervene, finally finding the courage to stand up to the businessman and his manipulation. They apologize to Akua and Kofi, acknowledging their mistakes and promising to make things right. They also vow to cut ties with the businessman and his entourage, refusing to be controlled by their wealth and influence. The businessman and his entourage are furious, but they're also defeated. They storm out of the celebration, leaving Akua and Kofi to finally enjoy their special day. As the celebration continues, Akua and Kofi share a romantic dance, surrounded by their loved ones. They're finally able to put the past behind them and look forward to a bright and happy future together. The celebration ends with a big feast, with plenty of food, drink, and music. Akua and Kofi are surrounded by their friends and family, all of whom are happy to see them finally together. As the night comes to a close, Akua and Kofi share a romantic kiss, surrounded by cheers and applause. They're finally able to live happily ever after, free from the manipulation and control of the businessman and his entourage. Akua's parents, who have finally seen the error of their ways, work hard to rebuild their relationship with Akua and Kofi. They apologize for their mistakes and promise to support Akua and Kofi's marriage. As time passes, Akua and Kofi's love continues to grow stronger. They face challenges and obstacles along the way, but they always find a way to overcome them together. Akua's parents eventually come to accept Kofi as their son-in-law, and they even begin to see him as a true member of their family. They're proud of the man he's become and the way he loves and cares for Akua. The community, who had initially ostracized Akua for disobeying her parents, eventually come to accept her and Kofi's marriage. They see how happy Akua and Kofi are together, and they begin to realize that true love is the most important thing. Years go by, and Akua and Kofi build a happy and fulfilling life together. They have children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren. They grow old together, always holding hands and looking into each other's eyes. The story of Akua and Kofi becomes a legend, told and retold throughout the community. It's a reminder that true love can conquer all, even when the odds seem insurmountable.